We will get you 1 million views or you don't pay. And if you give me 15 seconds, I'll explain exactly how this works. First, we build a tailored strategy. I wake up slow, sunlight on my skin. There's a quiet kind of power living deep within. No rush, no noise, just me and my breath. A woman in alignment with nothing to prove left. My reflection doesn't question what I am. She already knows I'm part of a bigger plan. Divine honors, divine honors. We're gonna get started in just a minute. The universe took its time on this design. I don't need to be loud to be seen. There's a presence in me that shifts the scene. The way I walk, the way I speak makes the world lean in before I even reach. I don't chase energy. Thank you for joining. Everything I want knows where I'm at. And when I move it, all aligns like life is reading my mind. She knows who she is. Beautiful without trying. Confident, never hiding. Soft, but never slow. She knows what she holds. A glow you can't ignore. And every time she walks in, she becomes the moment. My body speaks in the language of ease. Every movement flows like a warm summer breeze. Hips divine slow, honors, divine honors. I don't perform, just appear. There's something sacred in the way I exist. Not perfection. How are you?
Gratitude. What's up, everybody?
How's your day been?
Peaceful, quiet. Peaceful and quiet. I can't even complain.
It's an understatement. Like, peace is, boy,
Yeah.
definitely required and retained.
Yeah, I had to bury the fish, man. Had to bury the fish.
Oh, I saw that video. I was like, it's crazy because we were just talking about that.
Yeah. I gotta
prepare to let go. Look.
Yeah. I got a confession last night when you was calling me. I wanted to answer, but girl, I had tears in my eyes because I had to just release it. Because I was like, it was the way he was breathing. I was like, damn, I know when I get up in the morning, he gonna be gone. And he was. Yeah, I was like, I ain't want to put that energy on nobody because I was good, but I just was like, dang, my little friend gone.
And say, this too shall pass.
Yeah, but strangely, I felt some sense of release. Like I felt like a cord was cut. It was like some strange inner stuff that was happening. And it was crazy because last night I was on PetSmart website and I was thinking about what my son said. He was like, go to CVS and get some medicine. So I'm like on PetSmart looking up medicine and I had ordered some and then Spirit came to me and was like, stop trying to be in control. And I was just like, damn.
I was finna say it's symbolic to something else, like it's a bigger picture, but you'll figure it out on your own time.
Yeah, I
you're
felt
supposed to
that
get out
though.
of it.
Yeah, I felt that. I felt it. And I instantly released. Like I knew I had to release. In that moment, I was just like, damn. Well, straighten me then, cause I will try to control some shit.
Well, I'm glad that you're on the other side of it.
But today was definitely a good day, peaceful. Even sitting outside and doing that whole burial, it was liberating because I felt like something lifted off of me, not because of the fish. It was something more spiritual. It was something deeper than that. But it was a beautiful day outside, minus the pollen. I still pushed through that shit.
Oh, really? It's been raining all day here. So
Hey, that
it was
rain's some good stuff now.
beautiful, beautiful. My garden definitely loved it, and it's so peaceful when it rains.
You ever went outside and just washed your hair in the rain?
I do. I actually got rain catchers and stuff. That rainwater is really good for your hair.
I never did that before. I want to do that.
Yes, yes, yes.
I just feel like I can't do it in this neighborhood.
Yeah, I was thinking about I don't know if we were talking about the cold element. I think it was me and you, and we were talking about the ice baths and stuff. So one day when it was really hot outside, I was like, oh, that might be refreshing actually, because the containers that I have the rainwater in keeps it really cool. Not cold, but cool enough to be a refreshing.
Yeah. I want to go out there when it's pouring down rain and sounding like a waterfall and just be free on some fun shit.
I went out this morning and I got wet because I was trying to fix my rain catcher because it fell over. I got it sitting on the table and I think one of my grandkids had knocked it off the table and so to start catching the water again, the base of it has to be, the foundation. Look, the foundation has to be sturdy.
Okay.
And so like the wind was blowing really hard before it started raining. So when I looked out there, it tipped over and fell off the table. I said, "Oh no!" I sure ran out there and fixed it and got wet. And I was like, a little water never hurt nobody. A lot of water actually is good for us.
Yeah.
In the form of rain.
I'm ready to go somewhere. I still keep saying that. I'm ready to go somewhere. Hey, come as you are. What's up, girl?
Well, I'm going to start this book study. We are going to be reading through the Big Mama, the Primordial Divine Feminine Waters.
Okay, I'm gonna put myself on mute.
I'm gonna dive in it. I'm gonna let this song finish playing.
But
Then we'll
I was just about to say that vibration, that song that's in your background, got it going on.
This music is really uplifting. It makes you feel good. Peace, love, and light. Sahara. Is it Sahari? Sahara? I'm terrible with names, so forgive me if it was not correct. So this book was written by me and Ascended Master. We had a blast with this one. Say Rai. Say Rai. Look, I'ma still find a way to mess it up. Look, I think I got it right though. And chakra alignment. We're gonna jump right in. Sacral chakra alignment. So when we talk about the sacral chakra, we are talking about creativity, sensuality, emotional flow, feminine energy, and womb wisdom. With this book also is aligned with a deep activation of the heart chakra, the third eye, and the crown chakra. The heart chakra is all about compassion, love, nurturing, and emotional healing. The third eye is about intuition, inner knowing, and spiritual sight. And the crown chakra is all about aligning, or, you become aligned with divine connection, cosmic wisdom, and spiritual sovereignty. Affirmation is creativity moves through me like water, smooth, unstoppable, and alive. Smooth, unstoppable, and alive. That's a whole force. A force to be reckoned with, right? So before we dive into chapter 1, I'm going to read the introduction, and it starts with a scripture, which is Genesis 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and the earth was without form and void. Darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the water. That being the primordial waters. Primordial meaning existing at the earliest or from the very beginning of time. The original, it refers to the foundation, ancient or primitive forms. Primordial derives from the Latin word, first of all, or the beginning. Primordial waters means chaotic, formless, and boundless abyss existing before creation. These waters represent a cosmic womb, symbolizing the ultimate source of life, potential, and unindifferentiated, I hate that word, unindifferentiated, I'm gonna mess it up, existence. Also considered the maternal or feminine source for the creation of the world. Page 2. And this page starts with another verse, which is 2 Kings 19 and 15. Then Hezekiah prayed before the Lord and said, O Lord God of Israel, the one who dwells between the cherubim, you are God, you alone of all kingdoms, you have made heaven and earth. Cherubim is singular to cherub. It means a powerful, high-ranking celestial being acting as a guardian. And it ends with Revelations 12 and 14. And the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, so that she might fly to a place prepared for her in the wilderness, where she would be taken care of for a time, times a time, and half of a time out of the serpent's reach. The collapse has begun. Our mother opens up and swallows everything that is not aligned with nature and the sun. Chapter 1. A suppressed goddess older than Rome itself. The story behind Rome's scary secret. Let's dive into it. We appreciate you for loving the book, Casey. And we appreciate you for supporting the book study. We appreciate y'all for coming through and listening. So we're going to dive in to a late night, Saturday night book study party. The divine feminine is far from just another deity that Rome attempted to absorb. She holds the divine primordial feminine principles that are older than the empire and older than any idea of gods as Rome understood and understood them. Representing the body, the shadow, the earth, the blood, cosmic creation, justice, the cycles, the cynical death and rebirth, equilibrium, the unconscious, intuition, prophecy, sovereignty, the ability to self-rule, the wisdom, the ability to self-rule and the wisdom Rome could not legislate because of the totality of her divinity. Remember, as the first force, the soil before the city, the darkness before and after the sun, the light in the darkness, and the womb before the world. However you remember her, know that her aura, her stance, her abilities, and her power cannot and will not be denied. Rome's gods are known as orderly, hierarchical, and political. She is pre-political, pre-order, and pre-hierarchical, being that she is the force behind the ability to give birth, to renew, to destroy, and to transform. This made it impossible for Rome to control her due to her lack of need for priests, temples, or even permission to be. Her worship required shadow work, initiation, prophecy, meditation, and dance. Aspects that are healing components that bypass the traditional state that control religious systems. The divine feminine cannot be categorized or diminished, as she embodies the full spectrum of the archetypes. As mother, nature responds to her through crops, fertility, and healing. As the warrior, she is unstoppable. As the lover, she is the life force, magnetism, and the force of desire. As the sovereign, her power is not granted, her authority is inherited. As the witch, she holds prophecy, liminal spaces, and is the keeper of forbidden knowledge. She is the wisdom Rome ignored as non-existent. She represents everything Rome attempted to suppress in the people: personal sovereignty versus imperial authority, cycles versus linear conquest, the unconscious versus the rational mind, intuition versus logic, the body versus the state, and emotional versus discipline. Rome's identity and entirety was built on rationality, control, hierarchy, order, and conquest. The divine represents the opposite in totality. She is the part of human nature that cannot and will not be ruled. Rome could not tolerate a spiritual path or the force behind it. They held a pattern of absorbing powerful goddesses, renaming them and stripping them of their sovereignty. But this was not possible for the divine feminine. She is uncageable. No traditional goddess, this divine, could manifest herself in your presence as a woman who forms into a vessel of ancient powers, a celestial virgin with abilities too impossible to believe, an oracle whose visions were ignored and attempted to be silenced, or a descendant of a forgotten bloodline. The minute she awakens, the world will change. Rome could not destroy her, so they tried to bury her, hide her, silence her, regulate her. They hunted her priestesses and rewrote her into lesser deities. But they could never kill or unalive her because she is not mankind. She is principle. She was not and is not just a goddess. She is prophecy. The prophecy that stated, if she were ever fully silenced, Rome will fall. The scary secret is that Rome's prosperity was purchased by the breaking of her covenant. Page 7. The Divine Feminine's Awakening. When the Divine Feminine stirs up, she is not a mythic concoction. She is a spiritual blend. Her awakening symbolizes and reinforces the reclaiming of suppressed emotions, reclaiming intuition, reclaiming the shadow, reclaiming the body, reclaiming sovereignty, and reclaiming the cynical nature of life itself. She is the Divine Feminine in its totality: cosmic, spiritual, historical, mystic, or mythic, psychological, and personal, all embodied in one. She is the power that returns after being suppressed too long. The first force, the shadow Rome feared, the prophecy Rome hid, and the last truth. The divine in its full, unedited form. Rome's biggest mistake is the thought that they could rewrite her. Her awakening means the return of the truth to a world built on rewriting history or her story. The return of sovereignty and intuition to a rational world. Her return, or the return of shadow to a world obsessed with artificial light. The awakening will not be gentle, heaven sent, or involve Jesus. It will be liberating, transformative, disruptive, and destabilizing. She isn't returning to restore order. She's returning to restore truth. Page 8. Her primordial identity and true name is Astrea Noctiluna, or Sophia, including star-born goddess of justice, a name predating language. Say her name, whispered in dreams. It is sung in the breath between worlds and carved in stone circles. Her name and presence is not spoken. It is felt. A vibration. And when pronounced correctly, it induces a trance-like state, not a word, a frequency. Rome felt that speaking her name empowered individuals outside the empire's control. It triggered visions and opened the veil between conscious and unconscious. So they banned it from being spoken. Sound familiar? Rome attempted to turn her descent into sin, her wisdom into obedience, and her sovereignty into virtue. Yet she is too old and wise, too powerful and resilient, and too embedded in the psyche and the mission. Somebody's helping me read. The rewrite, also known as her romanticized false name, is Luminara Mater, the great mother of light. It removed her prophetic power, removed her underworld domains, removed her warrior aspects, her sovereignty, and aesthetic rights. This turned a cosmic force into a polite household spirit, yet the cracks in the rewrite remain visible. Page 10. Her wildness was replaced by Rome with politeness. When the empire silenced her, the empire sealed its own fate. For she is the cycle itself, and what is buried must rise again. When suppressing the divine feminine, the natural cycle is broken. Breaking the cycle eventually leads to stagnation. Her return marks the end of an empire and the rebirth of truth. Rome burned the original tablets, fragmented the original prophecy, hiding parts in different temples, and executing or exiling those who recited it. But fragments do not die, they multiply, and survived in dreams, oral traditions, resurfacing forbidden text, a reactivation of old sites, natural phenomenons like eclipse, storms, and earthquakes, and also symbols. And on page 11, there is a picture reference of the Grove of the Wild Mare. And it also says or explains it's the sanctuary of the untamed feminine power. Nice visual for you to check out. Page 12 starts chapter 2, and it is titled Sophia, the Direct Connection. Sophia connects directly to Astraea, not to Luna. And there's a breakdown. It says Cosm wisdom is prophetic intuition and lunar knowing, feminine face, and descends in matter. This is just showing the comparisons. Embodiment of the divine, hidden, suppressed by Rome. Exiled, rewritten, masked by the empire. Restorer of all balance, the bridge of spirit and matter. Awakening, destabilized lies. Bridge of shadow and sovereignty. So those are the similarities. Astraea is essentially Sophia refracted, or those are the qualities, yeah. Darker, more lunar, more shadow integrated. Sophia is the archetype as Astraea is the incarnation. Page 13. Sophia, the Holy Spirit, the Ruach Kadesh, the breath. And this starts with the scripture Deuteronomy 4:12. And the Lord spoke unto ye of the fire. Ye heard the voice of the words, but saw no similitude. Only ye heard a voice. And that ends the scripture, ends the quotes on the scripture. The divine wisdom reflects the likeness of woman. Sophia is not as minimal as just a she, but a symbol that the word she represents. In Greek, Sophia means wisdom, not the intellectual wisdom we commonly refer to today, but intuitive, cosmic wisdom, primordial wisdom, the all-knowing wisdom, embodied on a level beyond levels, a soul-bound knowing wisdom, preceding logic and creation, woven by the very intellect that is rarely held, found, and cannot be created in a lab. She is the intelligence that exists before thought, language, or form. She is the voice. Sophia is the one who originates from source, the first of the divine, exemplifying the purest form of divine feminine principles. A descending goddess, the restorer of balance, the feminine face of the divine who nourishes, remembers, and replenishes. She is not like other deities who create afloat. She falls into matter, experiencing exile, distortion, fragmentation, suppression, return, and as the restorer of balance. Her return signifies the collapse of everything false that holds power. This explains the fear held in her regard. One pattern that shows itself when feminine wisdom principles are attempting to be revealed is Sophia's signature across traditions, the number 8. The number symbolizes wisdom unfolding. She is the process of wisdom itself. The pattern and number represents the completion of a cycle, the beginning of a new cycle, the knowledge becoming insight, and then that insight becoming what we embody. This is far from static. It is movement. This is what the number 8 represents, movement. Turn the number 8 sideways and you get the infinity symbol or the infinity loop. Mother, child, and father. And if you watch Ascended Master, he shows this picture a lot. That's on page 15. So this is a really good picture reference. It says, this is Sophia as she descends into matter, becomes fragmented, remembers, returns, and brings creation with her. She is the bridge. Remember being told as a child not to burn bridges? Page 16. 8 also represents regeneration of the feminine principles, the birth and rebirth, the cycles of each creation, the womb identified as a portal, and cosmic order renewing itself. She regenerates the universe through wisdom, not violence. 8 is the octave of regenerative power, the music behind the noise. Around the noise becomes the noise. The same note on a higher level is Sophia. Appreciate the roses. The truth being revealed at a higher level, a spiral, not a circle. She is evolution, not repetition or the octave of consciousness. She is the gatekeeper. The 8 is the threshold of what was and what's next. In between states of consciousness, between worlds, and between knowing and ignorance. At the threshold, she is the one who opens the gate. 8 is the star Venus, which is Sophia's celestial signature. The planet Venus has a long association with divine feminine and draws an 8-point star in the sky every 8 years. One of Sophia's oldest symbols of harmony, wisdom, beauty, and divine ordering of the cosmos. Sophia's cosmic geometry. I don't know, I've been looking at words really weird lately. Sophia's cosmic geometry is the 8-point star. Sophia representing the cosmic pattern of 8. Astraea Noctiluna embodies the expression of that pattern. Let me read that again. Sophia represents the cosmic pattern of 8. Astraea Noctiluma embodies the expression of that pattern. Astraea's 8 symbols reflect her 8 aspects. The 8 temples that align with sacred geometry and the 8 prophecies explain why Rome wanted to break her. Her 8-pointed star, the symbol of the power, the seagull, and her 8th descent, aligns and explains this moment in time as she awakens. 8 becomes the hidden code of her identity, that which Rome could never erase. The ancient cosmic seagull of Sophia symbolizes Venus, balance, harmony, and cosmic order, and power, protection, and rebirth. The black crescent moon symbolizes Sophia's descent into matter and mystery. The serpent symbolizes eternal return, the cycle of wisdom and self-knowing. The 8-pointed star area follows the oracle that speaks prophecy from the void, the guardian that wields the serpent's sword, the weaver that spins creation from a thread, the seer that holds all seeing eyes, the alchemist that changes the outcome, the mother that cradles newborn flame, the keeper that protects the ancient scroll, and the initiator that bears the water of life. And on page 19, there is another picture reference, and that completes that chapter. Any questions before we dive into chapter 3? Let me find my glasses because I got a bad habit of doing this. I just jump right in.
Find them glasses.
Look, I jump right in. Sometimes I don't even have the light on and wonder why I'm squinching and stuff with this computer light. Like it's enough to brighten up my whole room. But Y'all doing good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm beyond
Water
good.
break.
I think I need a water break too.
Yeah, it's about to get real juicy, so it's good time for a water break.
I'm already knowing. This my favorite book. This my favorite book. What's up, Ramitrius? And then my one Jamaican friend. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Hey. Oh, so it's 13 chakras. And last night I was writing 12.
Yeah, it's a lot more than
Interesting.
they usually talk about the main chakras, but yeah, it's a lot more than 7.
He just said
But
13 chakras. I'm missing one on my tab, then I gotta get with you.
okay. We're going to dive back into chapter 3. It starts on page 20 and it is titled Big Mama, the Great Mother. And this book can be found on Amazon. You can get it in a paperback or a digital copy. You can DM me or Ascended Master for information about the book. Both of us have a link in our bio, or both of us have information about the book. So, chapter 3. The primordial great mother is the oldest archetype in human consciousness, representing the cycle, the void, the earth, the cosmic matrix, the unnameable, the source of all life, the womb. Her return is far from a cosmic event. It is a spiritual awakening, a spiritual correction, and psychological upheaval of all at once. The Great Mother, Big Mama, is not woman, goddess, or character. The Great Mother is remembering, a force and a reversal of everything the empire built its power on. This awakening is not biased. It is for all light beings, sun babies, and all who have walked the walk and talked the talk. Big Mama rises in us all, masculine, feminine, short and tall. The energy doesn't see color, status, or ranking. The energy just is what it is and it does what it does. The return of the divine feminine is the rise of the divine masculine. This is a primordial source, the darkness before creation, the womb that births gods, the world, and the consciousness itself. Upon her return, not quite an arrival, she emerges. Then she reemerges through the cracks of the same world that attempted to forget her. She only returns when we have forgotten our origins, when intuition has been silenced, when the world has begun to become too rigid, when cycles have been broken, and when the masculine principles have become unbalanced. She comes back when the world has drifted too far from its rhythm. Restoration. Not a decision from the sky, but a rise from within. This happens through dreams of night, water, and stars. The body, with woman feeling sharpened intuition, men feeling a crack in their emotional numbness, and children seeing things that adults forget to see. The land, as old sacred sites, react. The graves, the springs, the wells, and the caves hum with energy. The animals are more attentive. Astraea Noctiluma is the first sight of the Big Mother's return, as she is the lunar daughter, the one who wakes first. When Astraea awakens, it means Big Mama is stirring. Chapter 20, or page 22. This section is titled, Who is the Deity? She, he, for clarity, we. Sophia is not the Great Mother. She is the vibration, the words, the mindfulness, and the consciousness. The Great Mother, or Big Mama, is the source of 8 primary powers, or eons. Sophia is one of the 8. One of the 8 primary powers. Sophia is one of the 8, often known as the last one, the final, the closest to the creator. 8 becomes the number of emanations and the number of the mother at her fullest. The number of Sophia is placed in cosmic order. But Big Mama is source, the primordial, formless, fertile darkness. Sophia is wisdom flowing out of that source. Astraea Noctiluma is the carnation, the specific form of emanations. Big Mama birthed Sophia. Sophia birthed the world. Astraea walks within them both, the lunar prophetess, the one that Rome tried to rewrite, the return of the Great Mother's wisdom to a world that tried to silence it. And that wraps up that chapter with a picture reference on page 23. Looking very colorful, very cosmic, with an egg right in the middle. It's beautiful, beautiful. Page 24 starts chapter 4, and it is titled Henrietta Lacks the H-Lax Cells. Speaking of things that don't die but multiply, Henrietta Lacks was an Aboriginal woman born in 1951. She lost her battle to cervical cancer at the age of 31. Samples of her tumor were taken and studied by doctors, only to find that her cells done something extraordinary that doctors had never seen before. They did not die or unalive. They kept dividing and are still dividing as we speak. Today, H-Lax cells have changed the world and has made a major impact in medicine and the study of human melanin cells of the womb man. H-Lax cells are immortal, developing the polio vaccine, cancer research, enabling IVF, virus studies, genetics, and radiation. These cells and studies created tens of thousands of medical breakthroughs, saving millions. Normal cells are said to have a built-in limit dividing about 40 to 60 times and then stopping, which is a Hayflick limit study that you can look up. Protecting the body from runaway growth. Henrietta's cells were different, with extremely active enzymes and genetic mutation called Henrietta's cells were different with extremely active enzymes, a genetic mutation called HPV. Her metabolism kept her cells locked in perpetual division as they stayed in this state of conscious growth or becoming, instead of aging and dying off. They regenerated themselves, allowing scientists to ship them worldwide. And they are used time and time again, creating a cellular lineage. Henrietta never disappeared, biologically speaking. More cells exist today worldwide than in 1980 when she was still living. From mortality into biological eternity, these cells cross scientific limitations and still astonish what we know as scientists today, or experts. Labeled poor, black, disposable, and unrecognized, she never consented. Yet she became the foundation of the most studied and the temple for scientists in modern medicine, or template. She became the template for scientists in modern medicine. A priceless conscious biology and living cellular intelligence, providing or proving that DNA cells and the nervous system are not passive matter that can be disposed of or taken lightly. Outliving the body, these cells are definitely divine, woke tissue. Communicating with each other, they remembered how to live and multiply to remain human. Henrietta Lacks is now the bridge between individual and species, flesh and legacy, death and continuity. Becoming a healer from a loss she suffered, yet lacks nothing after giving everything. And that wraps up that chapter. Page 26 actually is the end of that chapter, so let me correct that. This page is titled Creative Cervix Cancer Cells. The womb is the biological gateway to the outer world, allowing the cervix to pass life through. This threshold of birth created these regenerative human cells that were not unalive, becoming the most powerful regenerative program in the human body. Repairing rapidly, they grew quickly, supporting new life and opening up to renewal and serving all of its purposes as cervical tissues. This regenerative program was hijacked by Henrietta's cancer, and her cervix, or the cancer in her cervix, and turned into endless replications. Womb cells that forgot how to stop being a womb. The feminine body is built for cynical renewal, monthly preparing for life as the uterine lining grows and sheds itself if it isn't used. She is the creator of all creation, the release, the regeneration, the blueprint amplified by mutation. And that wraps up the chapter. There is a picture reference on page 27, and it shows you the central nervous system. It says, this is your living network, the intricate design behind everything you think, feel, and perceive. And we are going to take another little break. Check on my grandbaby and take me a water break. So hold tight in the light.
You should have been having that music going or whatever. We got the hold tight. I mean, damn, crickets. You should have played that flow you had going on when we first got here.
I can definitely play some music.
Yeah, cause the book, the energy, it's beautiful, and then you just gonna dip out on them. Like, where you going, girl? Bring your ass back here. Where you going, girl?
I ain't going too far to the living room.
How's work? Hope everyone's doing well.
How's work?
Girl, a commercial.
Hey, that shit was funny though.
Yeah, we don't work around here.
Okay.
You know, ask somebody else.
We work, but just in another kind of way. You feel me?
I don't say much when I drive. Still the whole we on some career type shit. It's all play. We just get paid for what we do. You know what I'm saying?
Being paid
the minute we look at it, the minute we look at it as work is the minute that, you know what I'm saying, we start getting stressed and other stuff.
No, that's the minute you pull back into that Matrix bullshit.
Yeah, that's straight up slavery. Something they don't fully know. My presence lingers in the air.
Who is this? I want you to send me her so I can put her on my playlist.
This is the girl playlist. That's what it's called. Her name is Naya. Naya.
Oh, I
Blue
heard of
cover.
her. I heard of her.
She on YouTube. Sounds amazing. There's something deeper in my mood. Energy doesn't. We can do some dance therapy in between. In between
Listen,
the
that shit got me
readings.
want to do some gypsy Reiki right now.
That's what I was finna say. Something real slow. It kind
Slow
of
and
reminds you
winding.
of praise dancing or what is that called? The moms be doing. Not
I
the
don't know. I was
moms,
talking
but
about winding, like just
yeah,
like how them gypsy ladies be working that sacrum.
yeah, like a little belly dancing, but slow, real slow.
Shit, I feel like seducing myself in the mirror, like, yeah, kitty cat.
My aura hold a certain weight, not heavy, just impossible to fake. A quiet storm behind my eyes, a calm that doesn't need disguise. I don't perform, I don't pretend. I let my energy extend, and somehow everything aligns. This music is so fitting for the book. It's just right on time. I don't chase, I don't pull. I let my presence do it all. And when I trust what I already am, the world responds without demand. Energy doesn't lie. You can feel it when I pass by. Every step, every tone makes the atmosphere my own. Energy doesn't lie. Nope. That energy don't lie, baby. What I carry in my soul has its own kind of control. And I ain't calling nobody baby. I'm just saying that in the air. Look. No, I just had a conversation about that one. That word.
That's
It's
crazy
like
because I
I'm
didn't
working
even catch
on
you
my
saying that.
lingo. I'm working on my own lingo though. Everything lights me up high. The more I stay in my truth, the less I ever needed proof. Energy doesn't lie. It's the way I occupy every space I step into. Become something new. The next chapter is the central nervous system, and it's chapter 5, starts on page 28. And I try to line it up. I've been hearing so much about Big Mama, and most of it has been from Ascended. Probably the last 2 years, 2.5 years, and the central nervous system. So it was vital that we put this chapter in here, just to connect the dots for everybody to understand. And as he's giving me the information and I'm writing it, it's kind of crazy how you learn as you go. that's the beautiful thing about being a writer and collaborating with other people who, you know, you can learn from and you can pick stuff up from, and y'all, and it's like you can teach each other. And that's the beautiful thing about being open as an adult too, because a lot of us get to the point where we get so closed-minded, or we learn so much that we don't continue to allow ourselves to keep learning. Like, you know, have you met somebody who just act like they knew everything? And it was like, okay,
Tell me about
but
it.
nobody knows everything. So we have to, you know, it's very important for us to stay humble. Well, you know, and I don't even like the word humble. I'm working on words, but you know what area I'm talking about when I say that. To stay grounded is what it is. Because being proud of who you are ain't no problem. It's just staying grounded and balanced. This darn TikTok is working a nerve. So here we go with violations again, restrictions.
Well, I want to know what the fuck the violation is.
It says that visibility is unclear. And I don't know what that means because I have a picture up. So what do you mean visibility to what?
I done got to
So
the
it gives
point of
me an
believing
option
they
to
just
select.
want to stop the show. We must go on.
So this chapter is chapter 5 and it's titled The Central Nervous System. Page 28. What we call the spirit, the divine, God, is actually the rise of the feminine qualities in the central nervous system. This rise provides magnetism and electricity while operating the central nervous system. This system revives and balances out the frequencies in the two hemispheres. The intuitive, the emotional, and the nurturing versus logic. Analytic structure, building, and order provided when these two complement each other and start to communicate without worrying to see who is more dominant. This brings equilibrium and balance to the thought and perception, which provides heightened awareness, and we start to recognize the feeling of the divine spirit or God flowing through us. But it's actually the equilibrium. The balance feeds all the organs proper energy to function on a heightened level. This is order of the universe or universe within. The central nervous system is Big Mama, which is both balance and awareness. This is what we feel when we say we feel the divine feminine energy. It's a feeling of a regulated central nervous system that seems like it's not of this world. That's why we feel and say it is spiritual. It's actually its actual reality, it is harmony and rhythm. This is the rise of the feminine principles that reside in all of us. Big Mama has guided the masculine to set up structure, hold space, secure, and to pave a smooth route for the feminine womb or for feminine womb man, providing order, coherence, and creation. These are ancient teachings scrambled by modern day language, but we speak a universal or universal language that can be translated through codes and symbols. We were just talking about telepathy. The divine is not a gender, feminine or female. Feminine just expresses the softer, rational side of all of us. The divine feminine is a function of reality. In psychics, or in physics, it is the field that receives, gestates, and births. In biology, In biology, it is the womb. In neurology, it is the right hemisphere. In creation, it is the space where things can merge. The masculine principle is also not gender or male. It is more dominant or the more dominant side of us. Direction, boundary, structure, order, and penetration. In physics, it is the force. In neurology, it is the left hemisphere. In biology, it is the seed. In creation, it is the signal that organizes the field. When structure enters space, life happens. Signal plus field, order plus chaos, seed plus womb, left brain plus white brain. This is not patriarchy, it's cosmology. The autonomic nervous system and the human body is the master womb. This system decides, can I create? Can I feel? Can I love? Am I safe? Can I heal? The supernatural feeling of the nervous system leaving survival mode. When we leave fight or flight mode and enter coherence, our body releases dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, vaginal tone activation, and oxytocin. This process creates oneness, bliss, sacredness, connection, and transcendence. As this regulates the body, it feels mystical, like heaven. Like heaven. We just talk about that too. Enjoy this feeling as you are awakening, not woke or waking up, but transcending into a Kundalini experience. Ain't that a beautiful feeling? Page 31, the divine surprise. When hemispheres synchronize. The right hemisphere is emotion, intuition, whole feel, awareness, and sensation. The left hemisphere is language, identity, order, and linear. When trauma splits them up, we feel numb, anxious, disassociated, fragmented, and spiritually empty. The hemispheres start communicating when Big Mama brings them into coherence as the regulated field. When the nervous system is regulated, life flows. When the nervous system is chaotic, nothing can be born. That is Big Mama doing what needs to be done. Once the regulated field brings them all into coherence, the extraordinary occurs. The mind feels more clear, and the heart opens up. The body feels safe, and the hemispheres start to talk. This process produces warmth, unity, peace, love, and presence. Ancient cultures have called this God. We will call it integration. And on page 32, there is another picture reference that says the divine feminine rise to the throne with a beautiful, beautiful throne. Page 33 starts the chapter 6, which is titled, Why He Stands as a Strong Man, 10 Toes Down for the Divine Crown. By integrating the union of the core system, the body's safety response, the body safely responds and your emotion to your emotional memory. A healed masculine is able to protect the womb of creation. This has little to do with weakness or strength, but because what gives birth to reality must be protected from distortion. When men fall, it creates an unsafe field. The womb is flooded when structure collapses. This explains the crumbles of civilizations when the integrity of the masculine disappears. A true masculine stands steady so the womb can remain open and life can happen cool, clean, and collective. This is why builders, grounded men, and warriors feel called to honor the divine feminine. They are protecting the field of life itself. Not woman, but the womb of reality. So many modern movements collapse the feminine principles into feminine identity. So when we hear divine feminine rising, most of us think women over men, but it's not. That's not what's rising. What's rising is intuition over numbness, coherence over domination, receptivity over aggression, and embodiment over disassociation. This occurs in women and men. Appreciate the rose, thank you. Gratitude. A man who operates in his divine feminine is far from weak. This occurrence shows that he is emotionally open, his nervous system regulated, receptive, creative, and he is operating in his most optimal self. This is a masculine way to be respectful, for he knows who he is and the power he carries. A woman in her divine masculine is not aggressive. She is decisive, focused, and structured. The goal is integration. This teaches men to get their nervous system aligned so the field of life can feel safe enough to bloom. This is ancient priesthood, the protector of consciousness. Men are not here to elevate over women, but to restore cosmic order. Big Mama is not spiritual hype. Big Mama is a term used to describe the feminine principles that birth life into the central nervous system, which regulates both the right brain and the left brain hemispheres. When both are aligned, they begin to communicate their individual principles to each other, both responding by complementing each other. This is not about worshiping women. The goal is to stabilize the womb of the nervous system so that life can flow. The power returns with precision, not mysticism. It is biological transcendence. Big Mama equals the womb field that regulates life. A regulated man becomes sexually coherent, emotionally present, grounded, creatively powerful, and spiritually clear. This makes him safe for children, safe for women, and safe for the future. When he is safe, he creates a safe space for her to feel safe. This aligns the central nervous system as they rise together, whole, alchemized, and vibrating at the highest capacity possible, awakening the Big Mama in all of us. Some babies unite. And that is the end of the book. There are some picture references. Page 36 says, the electromagnetic field generated by a balanced and integrated nervous system turns into a crystalline energy that is your light body, your resurrected body, your higher awareness. And there's a picture of that, which is amazing. It's like you're floating in the sky. That's how you feel sometimes once you have or are going through this experience. You feel like you floating.
Exactly how I be feeling all the time.
Yes. So we also have a little bit of bonus information. Page 39 says, your ear is a womb. What you listen to will eventually be conceived and born into reality. Choose carefully what you listen to. Page 40. The ear. The ear is a receptive chamber. It receives vibrations. These vibrations are brought or birthed into form, just like the womb. Hearing is done through the vibrations to the brain. Hearing is the first sense of the soul, the one closest to the divine. Creation begins with sound. It's heard into existence. The portal of the Creator, a womb of meaning. Divine word enters as sound, not flesh. Sound is a seed, and the ear is the chamber where it becomes embodied. God speaks destinies into being through the ear. The ear carries the vibration to the brain. So, and on page 41, there is a grid that's showing you the ear versus the womb. The ear receives vibration. The womb receives seeds. The ear is spiraled cave-like, is a spiral cave-like chamber, and the womb is a dark enclosed chamber. The ear is a gateway to the inner knowing, and the womb is a gateway to incarnation. The ear is associated with listening and intuition, and the womb is associated with gestation and creation. And on page 42, the book is ended with a picture reference that says, "Do you understand now?" It shows the placenta, it shows the tree of life, it shows a baby and the umbilical cord. It says, as above, so below. And it also shows the silver cord. And your connection to your higher self. As the umbilical cord connects an unborn baby to the placenta, so does the silver cord connect our body with our spirit, and thus the divine forces, the true source of life. When the umbilical cord is cut, we are born into the realm. When the silver cord is cut, we unalive to be reborn into another realm, or whatever you believe. Peaceful awakening.
I wonder where my fish went. I was saying safe travels to King. I wonder where he went.
So this book can be found on Amazon. The link is in my bio. And it comes in a hard copy. It comes in a paperback copy. And we are working on a hard copy as we speak.
Yeah. I don't run after what's unsure. I've learned what I deserve for sure. My time is gold, my peace is rare. I move with care, I choose with care. I've outgrown the need to convince. If it's not clear, it's not intense. Wasn't meant for me feels calm and right. Not something I have to fight. My presence isn't something cheap. I give it where it's deep. And anything that hesitates loses access to my space. I don't question if I'm enough. I know my value isn't tough. The moment I decided this, everything started to exist. I don't chase, I choose what aligns would feel like truth. Every door that opens wide, it meets the woman I've become inside. I don't chase, I choose peace, respect, a higher view, and the more I stand
accordingly. I notice what is soft and real, not empty words I have to feel. I read the energy, not the talk. That's how I move, that's how I walk. I don't beg for attention now, once the mind knows where I am somehow. And anything that feels unsure fades away without a war. My stand is on something I raise. There's something I live. She sound like she used to sing like gospel. She has such a deep voice. The right things coming, perfect time. I don't fold, I don't explain. I've learned to trust what I sustain, and everything I once delayed now comes to me without a chase. I don't chase, I choose what feels calm, what feels like truth. Every moment I respect returns to me in a face. I don't chase, I choose the life that feels like something new. And the more I honor me, the more I live in certainty. There's a peace in walking away from everything that makes me stay. Smart or unsure of who I am, that's not the life I understand. I don't chase, I choose. Everything I'm meant to use finds me when I stand in place with my worth and with my grace. I don't chase, I choose a life that mirrors what I prove. And the more I live this way, the more everything aligns my way. You know what the king of the codes is? I'm talking about literally that one tax code section. I'm gonna read a poem after this song. I move like time doesn't rush me at all. Every step soft like a velvet fall. There's a rhythm living under my skin, a quiet kind of power pulling you in. No sharp edges, just a steady flame, a calm confidence I never have to name. The way I breathe, the way I pause, hold attention without a cause. My energy lingers after I pass, like a memory that's built to.
You had cut that off because we can't hear it.
Every movement makes sense without saying a sentence. Velvet comfort. My bad. Smooth and present. There's a glow in my essence. Feels almost endless. My hands rest lightly against my frame. I understand my own name. There's comfort in the way I exist. A quiet luxury wrapped in this. My gaze holds something warm and deep. The kind of calm you want to keep. No need to rush, no need to prove. Everything follows how I move. I've learned to slow the world around by staying grounded in my sound. And every time I trust my pace, I feel the power in my space. I don't chase what's meant to stay. It finds me in a softer way. And when I lean into my truth, everything feels smooth. Velvet confidence. Nothing feels forced. That's gonna be the smoothest. Feels naturally soft. Velvet confidence. Soft but aware. There's a presence I carry. You feel in the air. There's something sacred. Heart chakra frequency. Let's go. Gratitude for you as well. No need to impress, just be at your best. Velvet confidence flows through my frame. Every step that I take feels aligned with my name. Velvet confidence, quiet but strong. And the more I embrace it, the more I belong. Beautiful, beautiful. Nothing like a little wind down Saturday night. We ain't gotta be super crunk to have a good time. It can be relaxing and we can be in a meditative state at all times. It's so peaceful here. So, this poem is called Slay Your Chakras. Slay, slay, slay. Slay them, not gently, not quietly, but with intention, sharp enough to cut illusion. Slay your chakras like royalty claiming the throne, like fire learning it was never meant to flicker, only to consume what no longer serves. At the root, plant it like a war drum in the earth. Let it echo, I survived. Not barely, but boldly, loudly, undeniably. There is power in the ground that almost broke you. Slay your sacral. Let it drip in color, in rhythm, in truth. No shame in your softness. No chains in your pleasure. Creation lives here, and creation does not ask permission to bloom. Slay your solar plexus. Ignited like the sun, refusing to set for doubt. Competence is not arrogance. It is memory. Remember who you were before the world told you to dim. Slay your heart, not as something fragile, but as something fearless. Love anyway. After the hurt, through the scars, because your heart didn't break, it expanded. Slay your throat. Let your voice crack open the silence. No more choking on unsaid truths. No more choking on unsaid truths. No more shrinking your sound to fit into small spaces. You were not made to whisper your existence. You were made to declare it. Slay your third eye, see beyond what's shown. Discern, decode, detach. Not everything that glitters is aligned. Not everything that calls you is meant to keep you. Trust the vision that doesn't need validation. And then slay your crown. Place it not above you, but within you. A divine current running through your spine, remembering you, reminding you, you are not reaching for power. You are the power. So slay them all. Align them like a masterpiece in motion. Stack like truth to refuse distortion. From root to the crown, from crown to the root. For survival, from survival to sovereignty, from silence to sound. You are no longer adjusting your energy to be accepted. You are no longer setting it ablaze so you can be respected. Stand tall in your alignment. Walk heavy in your knowing. And let the world witness what happens when you just heal your energy and you slay it. Snap, snap, snaps. Slay that energy, baby.
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
Thank you. I need to
Especially when you
memorize
was
it.
talking about slay that throat. I'm like, yeah, I got some shit to say. And I ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah, I need to memorize it so it can flow. But I done got out of start trying to be so perfected. Perfection, walking in perfection. It just, I'm like, I'll just read it right when I finish it, right? And work with it as I go. And stop thinking I need to have it perfect to share it. Cause it's gonna be inspiring to see my growth. Look, as I get it memorized. But I have to pick sometimes, like pick my favorite one and try to memorize one at a time, so I won't put too much on myself. I'm learning to relax. It's a beautiful thing.
Girl, I can hear in your voice you relaxed.
Man, I don't know why I'm trying to lose my voice, but it's been kind of chilly out there, and it's supposed to drop down to like 40 tonight, which is weird. For this time of year, I don't know what the hell is going on. But I've been cold all day. My throat feeling's kind of scratchy, but I'm definitely relaxed. I'm surprised I'm still up, but I am getting tired now, so I'm gonna close it out. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, enjoying
Thanks
a
for
little.
having me.
Anytime. Thanks for coming through. It's a beautiful thing to have a co-host. But yeah, I'm gonna close it out. Give me some rest. But I'm trying to do it a lot more consistent. I just don't want to post a time and a date because I am very, very busy. So I'd rather just pop in and do a little bit here, do a little bit there, and
That's what
help
make it better though.
Megan promote her books as well.
It
She
make
got
it
some
better to go
amazing
with the
books.
flow.
What you say?
I said it make it better when you go with the flow like how you do. Cause it end
Yeah.
up just working itself out anyway. So
Yes,
I'd be
yes, yes.
sad if you like tomorrow we're gonna be here at 5 o'clock and then I'm over here like Where's she at?
Yeah, well, I ain't gonna say it and not show up, but I don't want to commit to it at all if because of the way my schedule be going back and forth, and I just been really busy. So I'd rather just pop in, and not be committed to a time at all. So I usually post it if I'm gonna pre-plan it. I'll pre-post it, and it'll be on my calendar and my schedule. Cause I don't do the no show, no call. That ain't my style at all.
Nah, I wasn't saying it like that. You know, just life have its way of just lifing. You know, sometimes we could think we gonna be somewhere and then life just do what it's gonna do.
And I've definitely posted it and had to delete it. Like, oh, I thought I was gonna be able to do 2 o'clock Thursday. Look, and then like the way my clients be working, sometimes I work with a lot of old people. They be having to reschedule and stuff, and I just have to prioritize and shift sometimes. But it all works itself out, most definitely. And we gonna get her done and get it all done. Look, and still have time to relax and work on me. I got that as a priority, and then whatever I got left, I might, step out. Step out and share what I got left. But I'm still in the harnessing and hibernating season. It ain't warmed all the way up yet, look. Feel good to just sit in silence and work on myself. Listen to
No,
my
you
inner
know that
thoughts.
shit is contagious.
Yeah,
I'm talking
listen to
about
the
that
birds.
yawning. Well, you
But I
can
don't want to
drop
miss
me. You
nobody's
can drop me.
sleeping.
I'm about to just five. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with the flow.
All right, you have a good night.
You too.
A grand night that is.
You too.
Peace,
Thank
love, and light.
everybody for being here.
Yes, I gratitude for sharing out the live. I appreciate y'all for coming through. We'll do it again sometime soon. Until then, take some time to enjoy your view. Hug a tree or something.